I am Florian Puhani. Welcome to my new training hack. This time it's something I discovered completely by accident. What I had considered as kind of a problem at first turned out to be in fact the solution to a problem one of my viewers had challenged me with. Cricky wanted me to do a video on tibia training. Okay, here we go. One fine day I was performing pike push-ups with my feet elevated on my windowsill. Even then I should have realized my technique was far from perfect. But instead I fell into the trap of a fake progression. I elevated my feet higher and higher with each consecutive training session, always for 9 to 12 increasingly incorrect reps per set. A power rack with easily adjustable safety bars is very seductive in that regard. This is not meant as an excuse though, I should have definitely known better. The deep proprioception in my shoulders tried to tell me, but I didn't listen. I only found out by watching myself on video later. So my first advice for you would be film yourself. Even with exercises that allow you to check yourself in the mirror, it is still better to watch your performance afterwards when you are not preoccupied with lifting anymore. Now, what exactly did go wrong with my pike push-ups? In a textbook pike position, the angle between your upper arm and torso is supposed to be nearly flat, 180 degrees. Also, your upper body is supposed to be almost vertically upside down, at least in the end position. In contrast, with my assumed pike, this is as good as it got. Or maybe this one, if you're willing to overlook the fact that my upper body is slightly slanted to the back. Now for comparison, here I am at my worst. Let's take this cut out of my upper body and turn it around a bit so you get a better impression of my failure. This would have been the correct position for a very steep incline push-up. And here you can see what the same angle would amount to in an overhead press. It wouldn't be a very strict overhead press, more like a steep incline bench press. No wonder I always got a great pump in my upper pectoralis as well. So I definitely didn't do pike push-ups the way they are supposed to be done. How bad exactly that was, however, is up to debate. Did I cheat in a way that increased the risk of injury? No, quite the opposite. Forcing myself into the textbook pike position would have increased the risk of injury, because my shoulders were lacking the necessary mobility. Did I cheat in a way that robbed me of the benefits of the exercise? Well, that depends on my training goals. If I ever wanted to do a free handstand push-up, let alone one without a banana bag, I would have definitely wasted my time. Because you can't hold a clean handstand unless your arms and upper body are perfectly aligned in a 180-degree angle. Luckily though, I'm just an old natural bodybuilder who has learned to really appreciate the benefits of bodyweight exercises for his goals of continuing muscle gains. And in this regard, my error wasn't of much consequence. After all, you see a lot of really strong athletes press huge loads overhead on a steep incline bench. And their shoulders are usually very impressive, so yes, your deltoid muscles do get enough work in that position. To me, that's what counts the most. As for all of you whose approach to calisthenics may be more puristic than mine, don't worry, I won't leave you hanging. Oh no, wait a minute. Quite on the contrary, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Because the dead hang without any scapular activation is actually really great for your shoulder mobility in the fully elevated position. Yes, there are plenty of other mobility exercises you can do, but they are all much less convenient, and convenience is key here because it equals sustainability. The worst exercises are always the ones you forget to do because you just don't like them. In contrast, it's so easy to fill each pause between your sets of pike push-ups with at least 1 minute of dead hang. But if your shoulders are like mine, it will improve your technique almost instantaneously. And that's all I've got about pike push-ups and how not to do them. Now, here is my new accidentally discovered tibialis training hack. I'm pretty sure you have already spotted its origins in some of the previous shots. I think I'll call it the inverted tibialis raises, or short ITR. Holding a pseudo pike position like that without tilting over is only possible by dorsal extension of your ankles and toes. So you are engaging all major muscles at the front of your lower leg and also the smaller ones on the back of your foot. The tibialis anterior muscle, of course, is the biggest and best known of them all. Hence it is the eponym of the whole exercise. But since its insertion is at the tarsus, it only works the ankle joint. It is the toe extensors that let you hold onto the safety bar while you are pulling yourself up by dorsal extension of the whole foot. The engagement of the toe extensors could be considered a slight advantage over the usual body weight tibialis raises, because there, dorsal extension of the toes isn't even strictly necessary, as I'm showing you here. So the ITR is derived from cheating at another exercise? That raises the legitimate question, could that happen vice versa? Could you cheat at the inverted tibialis raises by pushing yourself up from your hips and shoulders? Yes, as a matter of principle, you could, like I'm showing you here. But think about it. If it was easy to do that to the full extent, I wouldn't have had a problem reaching a clean pike position, so I wouldn't even have discovered the ITR. In reality, pulling yourself up by the back of your foot is much easier than pushing yourself up from your hips and shoulders. But let's assume your high elevated pike push-ups are really strong and textbook perfect, so you would be more prone to cheating like that. To prevent it, nevertheless, there are two measures you can take. Experiment with the following three parameters: the distance between your hands and feet, adjustable by your hand placement, the degree of hip extension, and the height of your feet. Find an alignment that allows you to shift the workload primarily to your tibialis anterior muscles. By changing these parameters, you can also make the exercise harder. To this end, set the safety bar up higher and/or place your hands closer to your feet. The other means to eliminate cheating, at least from your shoulders, is a headstand position. The exercise also feels much safer that way. You will appreciate that all the more once you get to performing the ITR 1 foot at a time, which is the logical progression as soon as you're getting stronger. The headstand variety is also great for supersets. Perform a set of pike push-ups first. Then, as soon as your shoulders and triceps are sufficiently fatigued, you go down on your forearms. Place the back of your head in your palms and immediately continue with a set of inverted tibialis raises. That kind of superset will save you time and maybe raise your heart rate and spike your metabolism a little. Possibly the greatest benefit, however, is that you get your tibialis anterior training done without an extra reminder. After all, it's not like you wake up in the morning and feel like, yay, today is tibialis day, I'm already psyched. Because training your frontal shin muscles offers no instant gratification. They don't get a massive pump, and you definitely can't show them off when you're posing in front of a mirror, so they are easily forgotten. Now, this is all well and good, but it doesn't answer the question whether or not you should train your frontal shin muscles at all. Okay, to keep this brief, if you've ever had any trouble with your knees, then yes, definitely, train the dorsal extensors of your foot. They will give your knees a break. Literally, if you spell it B-R-A-K-E. Because every step you walk, they decelerate your foot. And they help you slow down when you're running or walking downhill. All the momentum your tibialis anterior is too weak to handle, your patellar tendon will have to deal with. And even if your knees have been perfectly fine so far, you can think about Tibialis training as paying a really small weekly rate for knee insurance. Click the info card in the top right corner to learn more about bulletproofing your knees by Ben Patrick, the knees over toes guy, who I think is the best proponent of this topic. Now, if you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and click the bell icon so you get notified of my next video. Also, please tell me what you think about the inverted tibialis raises in a comment below. Oh, and please share this video with whoever you think might like it. Thank you, Cricky, for your surprisingly interesting request. And thanks to all of you for your inspiring and encouraging comments. My name is Florian, and I will continue to make an effort so that you don't get bored with your training.